Hello, my space friends. This is Zastro and Lazarus Telraven bringing you the 5th match of the finals day of the 10th Alliance Tournament. For this match, Mildly Intoxicated is going up against Raiden Dot. What kind of setups do they bring here, Laz?
All right, we get a little bit of an ECM setup for Raiden, where you have 4 Rooks, a Sleipnir, or a single Sleipnir, a Scimitar, Merlin, or actually 4 Merlins and 2 Harpies. So I mean, it's kind of like a half ECM deal here, which is going to be very bad if these mollusks get some jams from them, get those jams off the field. You do have a lot of DPS from these blaster Proteuses, and one of the big counters to ECM is a single race team, which is what Mildly Intoxicated brought to this match.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be really hard to jam if they're going to have to use off-race jammers for all of the Mildly Intoxicated chips.
Yeah, I mean, and before this match starts, CCP Shrieks asked us to make sure to say we snowball a few more times. Yeah. And the big thing about these ECM teams, if they lose a few ECM ships, then it's going to snowball out of control.
Yeah, it sort of cascades in one direction, maybe you could say. The less ships that there are, the easier it is for the ECM team to keep jams on them. So right off the bat, we see it looks like Raiden Dot's going for a couple of those Mildly Intoxicated frigates just to get them off the field and eliminate some mid slots so they don't have to deal with anymore.
Yeah, they want to get those damps off the field because those damps are going to be really effective against those Rooks, keeping the ECM down. See these Blaster Harpies, or actually this Merlin, getting right on top of that Mollusk.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice. Merlins are excellent to kind of 1v1 these ECM frigates and drop them off. The Mildly Intoxicated team is doing a pretty impressive job tanking, though, so far.
Yep, but while these mollusks are getting shot, these Proteuses are ripping apart the Scimitar. He's into structure.
He's a structure, but his shield tank's going up. I didn't think he had his ASB on.
Maybe he wasn't paying attention, didn't notice it. Just the shield evaporating.
Yeah, he took a lot of damage really quick, but now he's kind of hanging on in there with his shield.
Oh, wow. Look at, he's bleeding more and more structure. I think he might go down.
Yeah,
wow.
There he goes.
That
Bam.
is a big deal, a huge deal, because these Rooks are not going to be using their mid slots for the ASBs.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the entire tank of the Raiden Dot team gone right there. But as we say that, Mildly Intoxicated is losing ships, and it seems like Raiden's able to hold jams on most of them. So although they lost their tanking ability, if they can keep those jams up on all the Mildly Intoxicated ships, they could still win this.
Well, I mean, these Proteuses are going to get on top of these Rooks now and just start taking out these jams, taking these jams off the field. That Daenerys is going to get freed up to where he's going to be able to rep these frigates that are taking damage. As I say, the Daredevil is going down from Mildly Intoxicated.
Yeah, but there's still a lot more support on the field for Raiden. If they can get tackles on the Mildly Intoxicated ships, get webs out, hold them off, they won't be able to catch up with those Rooks.
Yeah, let's see. Those Rooks in the field. Looks like they do have Kajadil and the Rook pinned down now. They're going to see these Rooks start dying pretty quickly as the first one is about to enter armor. Yeah,
it doesn't look like the Rooks are able to hold jams as well as they want to here on Mildly Intoxicated. Mildly Intoxicated's Onero's having no problem keeping what's left on the field wrapped.
Right.
And as with every ship that Raiden loses, it becomes way harder for them to keep jams on the rest of it.
Yeah, we're actually not seeing any ECCM effects coming from the Proteuses.
So Raiden, they lost the Rook, but they still have jam effects on most of the Mildly Intoxicated ships. They still have a chance to hold them off here. But the big problem with these ECM setups is their DPS is really low.
Yeah, I mean, these Rooks, they do have 7 mid slots. So, I mean, that's a lot of mids. Looks like we're probably going to have some sort of prop module, and then you're going to have a lot of jams. And not like very little tank. You're going to have some large shield extenders probably for some buffer, but you're not really have many resistances.
It looks like Mildly Intoxicated has switched to going after some of those Merlins now. We see some of them being taken off the field. They want to eliminate the support that Raiden has that could keep their Proteuses tackled.
Yep, we're not seeing much tackle being spread across Proteuses, but they are keeping that Daenerys web down.
And so Raiden didn't look too good for a second there, but it seems like their jams have stuck now. DPS has kind of fallen off from Mildly Intoxicated. Those Proteuses are just chasing the Rooks around the arena right now, hoping to get some webs on them and get some tackles.
Yeah, it looks like they're burrowing straight towards Pixar. And as he's trying to turn and get out of range, I think he might have slowed down a little bit too much. These Proteuses are going to get on top of him and get
Another
tackled.
Merlin goes down for Raiden. With every frigate they lose, it becomes a lot harder for them to control the distance.
It looks like those Proteuses are right next to Pixar now. So, I mean, once they get that DPS on that last Rook, or one of the last Rooks.
So Raiden's going to get Mildly Intoxicated's logistics down here. That's going to hurt, but I don't think it's going to be a controlling move here. I don't think it's going to change the direction too much.
It's not. I mean, they lack so much. Like, they have very little DPS in these ECM setups because a lot of DPS came from those frigates because they only have a single Sleipnir for like high-end DPS.
Yeah, and he is tracking disrupted and webbed, so it's difficult for him to get in position.
Yeah, I mean, look. If you look, he's actually going 8 meters a second. Let me look at the velocity.
20 meters a second. So he's kind of being held out of the engagement right now.
Yeah, so I mean, he's starting to speed a little more now. I mean, he's 60 meters a second, very slowly going up because of that web.
But there is still a raging frigate battle going on. Mildly Intoxicated is about to lose an Ishkur to Raiden's frigates.
Yeah, I think these frigates are all having their own little fight while these Proteases go after the rooks. It's kind of funny to see.
Yeah, it's another. I love the second level of combat that we're seeing in this Alliance tournament. We see the frigates having their own little beatdown while the bigger ships do their own thing.
Yeah, it's just these assault frigates have done so well this tournament.
But not even just the assault frigates. The Tech 1 frigates are great too. These 4 Merlins have done a great job here today.
And we have a little bit DPS going on one of the Proteases. I mean, they just really don't have the DPS here to break these heavy tanked ships like the Proteases and the EOS.
Right, and especially their main DPS ship, the Sleipnir, being track and disruptor sure didn't help anything here.
Right, I mean, the biggest thing that's going to be for them to break is that Sleipnir with the ASB, if he has the ASB fit. But saying that, once he runs out of charges, he will die in short order.
So at this point, Mildly Intoxicated is a very strong position. I think they're going to take this one now. There's not really much Raiden could do against him. One thing I should mention, Raiden, in the studio, they were talking about their flagship was named Stoffer Disband This. That's a pretty funny flagship name. I like it. But Raiden actually fielded their flagship in their last match, but it wasn't named Stoffer Disband This. It was named something like Flagship. I can't remember why that was. I think maybe the name that they had chosen for their flagship didn't fit. Right. So their punishment for bringing a flagship that was not named appropriately is they're no longer allowed to use their flagship for the rest of the tournament.
But it really won't matter because it looks like they're getting knocked out here.
Not going to matter now. So it's just a cleanup at this point. That last rook is down. It's just a Sleipnir and 2 Harpies that Mildly Intoxicated have to catch up with, take out, and it looks like they're going to advance. Mildly Intoxicated are a really strong team here in the tournament. I think a lot of people's brackets have Mildly Intoxicated going all the way. I have Mildly Intoxicated on my bracket going into the finals, where on my bracket I think they're going to be fighting PL.
Yeah, it looks like this Sleipnir actually trying to take out some of these drones that are following him. He had a wave of drones on him. And it looks like he was trying to get some of the DPS off him as these Proteases are trying to catch up.
Yeah, it's really, there's no point in it now. There's nothing one Sleipnir is going to be able to do against an EOS and 3 Proteases.
Yep, so now we're down to under 3 minutes left. Mildly Intoxicated 76 points. I mean, they've definitely won this match points-wise. Now they just, like I said, have to clean up the field.
Yep, and now Mildly is caught up with the Sleipnir. He's webbed, and he's just going to die here in a second. So Raiden, they did great in the group stages, but they had a tough draw going up against Mildly Intoxicated first. They're going to be one of the first teams eliminated. I think they were a contender, but Mildly Intoxicated, they could go all the way. It was a tough match to have right off the bat here.
They're definitely a really good team. I mean, they have Uki, that's their team captain, was team captain of Black Legion last year. So, I mean, he's definitely a long-time tournament vet.
These guys have a lot of experience, and they're showing it here as they take apart Raiden pretty handily.
Yeah, and what? It looks like you have Mildly Intoxicated going the entire way?
No, I have Mildly Intoxicated.
Way, yeah.
Right, they're going up against PL in the finals on my bracket, the bracket that I thought was such a good bracket, and so far everything's been right except I thought Heretic was going to be Godfather.
Yeah, see, I'm almost like that, but I have Mildly losing to Shadow Cartel right before the finals.
Shadow Cartel's a good team, but Mildly has the Alliance tournament experience, and they have excellent pilots. You've seen them here in this match today. They're doing great against Raiden.
Yep, so 1 minute, 40 seconds left in the match. Only a Harpy left that is already webbed. He will die in short order, and that will be the end of the match once he is down.
Yeah, so after this, Mildly Intoxicated will have to face the winner of Verge of Collapse and Rogue to Capella. It's a tough... Everybody has tough matches today.
Yeah,
there's nothing that's really a complete lockdown here.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I had such a hard time picking up my bracket as the last Harpy goes down.
Well, that'll do it. Mildly Intoxicated beats Raiden in the 5th match of the elimination stage. And with that, we'll turn you over to Soundwave in the studio.